Hey everybody, and in this video I'm going to be covering the Fibonacci trading strategy, both retracement and support and resistance levels, and a little bit about how that can benefit you as a trader. If you know what Fibonacci retracement levels are and you have the basic idea of support and resistance levels, feel free to just check out the description below and jump right into adding this bot to your Discord server, and you can check it out on their website at TradeUI.com as well. Link is also in the description below, but essentially, what this bot does is it actually automatically draws those Fibonacci retracement levels for you to find a rough support and a rough resistance level here. There's also a support resistance based on the fractals, clusters, and clustering algos that is a little bit of proprietary there. So I won't go much into details there, but as you can see, it finds kind of the ideal levels here and tends to be bouncing off of them as well. So it works out pretty well. You can add this bot essentially at this point for free to your server. You can check it out in the description below, as already explained. As you can see here, with the Fibonacci retracement levels, it bounced pretty nicely off that 38.2 retracement. But we're going to hop right into it here in just a second to show you a little bit more about that. Do keep in mind that this is case sensitive. So if you are not case sensitive with that Fibonacci retracement, it will not show that Fibonacci retracement level. And this can work for any and all charts in regards to main level tickers there. And we're going to hop into the next part here. And what are the Fibonacci retracement levels? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's a retracement from a high or low. Usually, you can make your own levels there to kind of get a basis of where you would be comfortable, whether on a day trading or swing trading or a long term trading basis, as to where you would generally want to buy in or where you might want to sell if you're in a short position. One of the most popular ones is the 38.2% retracement, which I showed just recently in the earlier part of this video. If you want to go check that out, go feel free to scroll back in the video to find that out. But there's other little level of retracements: 23.6, 61.8, 78.6. There's 50% used occasionally, but I feel the 38.2% is the most popular. I personally would recommend don't just use the Fibonacci retracement levels, use the support and resistance levels from TradeUI as well. But there's also VWAP, there's also EMA, there's also a lot of other different indicators. The one thing you don't want to use is too many indicators because you're going to get a lot of false positives that way. And you want to make sure you're going on a little bit of a longer term time frame. Short term time frames can be a little bit deceptive and showing a certain pattern. Keep in mind with Fibonacci retracement levels, that's a pretty straightforward retracement level, no matter what kind of time frame you're on. So it's kind of ideal in that regard. There's just different formulas that'll kind of brainstorm for you what all that means. But the main thing is that the stock just retraced from its highs a good significant percentage of time. That usually attracts both hedge funds and algorithms even to go and jump on those lines. Same with the support and the resistance with the fractals and the clusters and all that fun stuff. So it's very important that you watch these levels, but you also tie in some other indicators as well to help you. And we're gonna, hop right into it here with TradeUI. TradeUI actually gives you a lot of other different tools that you can use: sweep setups, unusual options activity. If you're not familiar with option flow, check out the website below to learn a little bit more about it. And you can try out the platform too, as well, through a trial account if you'd like to see all the different features here. Gonna hop right into the platform itself here just to show you guys, though. This is literally live flow coming in and pretty much literally by the minute here. And you can customize it however you want. You can customize it by ask, bid, whatever. You can customize it by the percentages and by the dates to expiration, things like that, bias calls, puts, you know, uh, in the money, out of the money, what have you, even going as specific as an expiration date. You can filter by just calls or just puts. You can find ideal sweep setups coming out of squeezes, breaking lines, breakouts, breakdowns, so on and so forth. You can see unusual flow, which is pointed out here. There's also a new feature that came out, which I'll be discussing in another video. It's new as of when I'm talking about it today. It is called these signals, and I'll get into more details about that in the platform. But it's something else you can look forward to. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and check out that video when it comes out to go. It'll be going more into detail about that. This one I just wanted to cover kind of the basics of Fibonacci retracement, support and resistance. These are often what algorithms look for on those levels, and the TradeUI platform offers it free through their bot, so you can check that out in the description again below. If you have any questions about what I mentioned here, feel free to let me know, and I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. Just keep in mind that there's flow, there's all these different strategies and all these different things that you can utilize. But in the end of the day, there is no guarantee. I'm not a financial advisor, nor is anyone else in regards to this. So I'm just giving my own input in regards to what I've had the most success with. And Fibonacci retracements are probably one of my favorite things here in regards to finding those levels and finding an ideal point of which you can enter and where you can exit, and kind of doing a range bound scalp here and there. Hedge funds want to make millions. You probably only want to make hundreds or thousands, which is more feasible than trying to ideally time the market. Whereas these supports and these resistance levels can help you in that regard, but they are not flawless. So this isn't a YOLO, you're going to make millions overnight or anything. This is basically support resistance levels that you can add to your trading strategies to give you a baseline entry exit point. Uh, there's a lot of other indicators you can be utilizing, but Fibonacci retracements are probably one of the better ones out there. I think out of the ones that are my favorites, it's the Fibonacci retracements. You got EMA, you got WEP. Those are some of my three main faves in that regard. I use another indicator called the Momentum SMA, but that's not really related to this video. But it's all about moving averages. It's all about retracements, and it's all about finding that previous point of which it bounced, where that volume support was kind of holding there for you to get an idea of where to enter and to make a lot of profits at the same time. Investipedia says there's limitations. Obviously, there's no guarantee on the market here. A lot of things can change. Different news can come out. As of this video, a lot of the big stuff coming out is COVID related, but there's a lot of other things that can be going on at that given point. There's a lot of narratives and there's a lot of movement, money flow, treasury bonds, debt ceilings, all those kind of things that can affect your outcome there, even if you're right on your levels. So it's not only important to watch these levels, but it's also important to watch the news to get a little bit of a baseline of what you should be looking for in that regard. And with the TradeUI platform, it can help you following that flow a little bit better, because not only does it catch, unusual options activity from when maybe a piece of news or something would come out to indicate maybe there's a big change happening, but at the same time, it gives you a better visual through all these other tools that you can be utilizing. And there's not just one tool. This is just the front end. You can follow the leaders, the study boards, whole lot of different feature here. Signals, as you can see, it's currently in a beta version as of this video, but it's going to be expanding to more of a full tool, much like this option flow here. Find different technical levels right through the platform as well if you don't want to use the bot. So pretty straightforward there. You can add the Fibonacci retracement, you can add the support and resistance, and you can find those levels here. This gives you a little bit better of a visual utilizing the platform here, as you can see. But coming up here, it bounced right off the 38.2, which is my personal favorite, to be honest. There's other little retracements that it tends to bounce off of, but when you're looking at different charts, the 38.2 is usually the favored one in that regard. In this case, it had a nice bounce off the 50%, but in previous points here, you can see the 38.2 is kind of a baseline for the range here, even rejecting at the 38.2 back in April. So as you can see, it's important both for support and resistance in that regard, whether it's Facebook, whether it's QQQ for tech stocks. You can find pretty quick levels just utilizing this platform here. Peloton's probably not the best example because it had a terrible earnings, but as you can see here, you can utilize this for just about any chart and you can find different levels. So make sure to check out the bot as well as the platform in order to get the best out of your experience with the Fibonacci retracement levels. And all that's in the description below. Any other questions you guys might have, I'll try my best to answer them. I'm just covering just brief idea of how you can utilize the Fibonacci retracement levels to benefit you as a trader. This isn't very, super sophisticated. You have a retracement level. So it just simply retrace down to a key level that a lot of people they find it appealing. They find that support as a nice support to consider buying in. And or if it rejects on that level, it can work the other way where it gives you a nice idea of where to enter, where to exit, and you can scalp and be in and out. You don't necessarily have to hold through these given points. So I'm sure you get the point of what I'm trying to make here is in essence, there's different levels of support. There's different indicators. There's a lot of different things that you can be utilizing to help with your trading a little bit better. There, in the end, no guarantees on the market, no guarantees that of anything really, because just about anything in this market, especially in the last few years, can happen. So keep that in mind during your trading. But thank you for listening in, guys. I think that's about all I wanted to cover in this video, just giving you an idea of some of the new features that came out with TradeUI. And we're going to kind of pick this up later with the video for the signals if you guys are still listening in to learn a little bit more about them. So make sure to check that video out when it comes out. And thank you guys. And you have a wonderful day and have a nice holidays here coming up. And I'll see you all later on.